So they had a graphic that came out a couple years ago that the Leafs were 0-8 with Wes McCauley. They retweeted it and said they're now 0-9 with Wes McCauley. Then the Leafs lost this game. So they're 0-10
in Wes McCauley.
In Wes McCauley games. And I did the math this morning. I think they're getting outscored. I think it's 44-23.
Right. And
in
so
those 10 games.
And by the way, I know it wasn't Wes that made that call. It was his partner in crime,
TJ Luxman,
who also sucks. But
well, I mean, name the good ones. Right?
Well, there are better refs. I mean, and there are refs for teams that are better too, like Kelly Sutherland. If you're a Vancouver Canucks fan,
you hate him.
They're 0-12 in the playoffs when Kelly Sutherland refs a game. 0-12. There's something to that.
Okay, the Wes McCauley thing, coincidence or actually something?
Actually, something with Keefe when Keefe was behind the bench. Actually, something. Last night, I didn't see that so much. You can't get me off. Wes McCauley sucks. He does.
0-10 is peculiar.
Sorry, it's not peculiar anymore. 0-5's peculiar.
Yeah. Well, here
10 games, no, not one.
So I'll give you this.
But for that to matter, you think he is deliberately not calling penalties for the Leafs?
Wes McCauley
I don't
is
believe
a human being, and he hated Sheldon Keefe, and Sheldon Keefe hated him. And I think so. So I'm not even talking about last night. The
so you don't care
leading
about
up to this. Last night, though, the Pacioretty call with a minute and 50 seconds to go. It's a trip.
It's a trip.
But how many times does Wes McCauley
it's a trip on the puck carrier.
That's
a trip on the puck carrier.
He does not want to call that call. Pacioretty tripped him.
Mm-hmm. He gave him no choice, in my opinion. Here's what I would say. The Leafs had more power plays, and they've had more power plays in this series. The reason for that is the Panthers break the rules so much. So very much. And they can't
call them all.
Won't call them all. The trip on Mitch Marner when the Leafs had a power play. It's a trip, 5-on-3. They're not going to call that. Mm-hmm. They're just not going to do it.
That was on the breakaway.
That's not even the one I was talking about.
Oh, that's not the one.
Not even the one.
Because the breakaway, when Mitch got pulled down on the breakaway, there was a delayed penalty on that.
Literally tugging on his jersey.
I thought they were going to get 2 minutes of 5-on-3.
Nope.
But yeah, that's not. We're not even talking about the same one. So Steve, where do you land on this? Because I'm thinking, I don't think
0-10 guy.
I don't think he's deliberately trying to tank Leaf games.
No. The Leafs keep playing teams that play a harder game than them in the playoffs. I know this team is not last year's team, but more experienced refs, and he's one of the most, if not the most experienced ones, like an older brand of hockey. Mm-hmm. And when I say older, I mean more rugged and violent. And who have the Leafs kept losing to? The Bruins, and now it's the Panthers.
One game, by the way.
The more experienced the official is, the more they're going to let go, and the more it benefits the rougher team. You're going to look at the penalties called, and you're going to see the Leafs have more power plays, and you're going to go, what are you talking about? And I'm here to tell you, you are being willfully ignorant. It's not about the penalties that they call. It's about the ones that they don't.
That are at key moments in key situations when the Leafs are pressuring the Panthers.
Yes.
And then usually when you got a hard forecheck or you're on the power play, the chances that the defending team will offend and make a mistake because they're out of position or because they're being in desperation are higher, which is why you get 5-on-3s. But the refs won't do that.
Yeah.
And that's where it's like, okay, with Wes McCauley for me, I feel like, I don't feel like it's the same. Like the Leafs almost won this game. It was not like egregious like it was in years past.
I don't like him. Well, I can't put it on him.
No.
I'm like everyone else, I think, on this one.
And the Leafs killed the damn penalty.
And they killed the damn penalty. It was a penalty.
0-10, though. Don't tell me there isn't something there.
I mean,
I think Leaf fans have a point. I think Canucks fans have a point with Kelly Sutherland. Don't put them on those games.
I mean, Wes McCauley is not the only official that I dread. Mm-hmm. What was the combination? The other Eric Furlat, and there was another guy, Graham Skilleter. I don't want to deal with it. But has someone at the league at least been like, that's odd?
No.
Okay, no. I'll give you an example. Because to de-stress from the Stanley Cup playoffs, I often watch basketball stuff. Every time I see CP3, Chris Paul on the floor with Scott Foster, I'm like, why is this still happening? Get these two men off the court together. They cannot be on the same court. They can't. Chris Paul's record, like probably a Hall of Fame basketball player, and he is like 2 in a million or something against this guy. They scream at each other, mostly Chris Paul screaming at him, but they scream at each other every time they play. I'm like, this isn't healthy. I'm not saying that's what it is with Wes, but 0-10 is wild. And they went 0-3 with him in the regular season. There's something there. I'd love to know who those games were against.
Listen, if you follow stats at all, and you're telling me 0-10 is nothing to look at, shut up. You don't follow stats then. Like, that is a stat. That is hard evidence.
0-10 in like any situation with like any amount of variables.
And this goes for any team.
Is impossible. Like, it's so hard. Like the fact that Pete DeBoer is 9-0 in game 7s. Like, irreplicable. Like, how does that happen? You play all 10 of those games over again. Like, surely the Leafs win one of them, but
Brad Marchand scores,
of course,
and he loved the celebration. Whatever, that's his second goal of the playoffs. So
yeah, his line. I saw that and I'm like, oh, he's not having a good playoffs. No.
He's having a great playoffs.
His line's unreal.
No, they're very, very good.
I'm so angry at everyone who's like, who's this Anton Lundell?
What,
dude?
What?
His 4 seasons in the league: President's Trophy, Cup Final this year. Pay attention.
He's effective. Yeah,
he's
so
good.
that goes in, and again, I say that is the best the Panthers had. It was 2 or 3 fluky goals, and a couple that probably shouldn't have gone in. Like if Joseph Will had tracked the pucks better, Jesse mentioned it earlier. I do feel like the Leafs, if we're gonna be honest here, this is a little bit they did it to themselves.
It is. One thing I don't like is the narrative. If Stoley's in net, they win that game.
No, I don't like that either.
Well, I mean, maybe,
but
he wasn't. And in game 4, he ain't going to be.
Yeah.
Probably won't be in game 5. He's not even in Florida right now. It was Hildeby backing up, which
Matt Murray said.
Yeah.
Had
an illness, Berube said.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So I was like, why? How come? Okay, good. Wool's capable of winning playoff games. We've seen it.
He was great every year.
And it's going to be Wool next game. So how do we win next game? That's got to be your focus.
Make a few less mistakes. I don't know, man. Like I feel like this team has deserved at least for now, a vote of confidence. This is not game 5 versus the Senators where they didn't show up.
If you thought you were going to sweep the Panthers, I would love to live life with your optimism. Actually, no, I wouldn't, because I'd be disappointed so often.
Jesse, the Leafs play Sunday. What do they need to actually do to win that game?
They need to play a little tighter. Like, that second period was ugly.
Yeah.
Yes, it was horrible.
They got outplayed for a whole period of hockey.
Worst period of playoffs? Maybe.
Somewhere in that Sens game, I guess. That's Sens game 5.
See, even still, 2 goals were scored on a goalie in that game.
Yeah. But your reaction to that, I don't think...
I was pretty upset.
I don't think I can give anything outside of that game the crown jewel for the worst game.
Now that you mentioned it, I was rather bothered.
You were very upset post that game. I think they need to clean up some of those areas there. Like the goal that happened in OT, where that line, the Tavares, Holmberg, Nylander line, gets caught out like that. You can't have that.
For 40, 45 seconds?
Willie, I think, finishes out there 90 seconds on the ice.
That's
wow. You have to find a way to not have those things happen. The Tkachuk goal where he's the one who wins that puck battle. I want to give credit to the Florida Panthers for playing a smarter game in those areas, right?
Yeah.
But the Leafs have to find a way to overcome those areas.
Jesse, am I seeing something that's not there, or do they really struggle with the long change?
Yeah, when they got to go.
You know
all the
why?
way to the other
Because
side.
they don't hustle off.
Yeah.
They almost got caught out for too many men.
I think they have a difficult time managing their bench in those situations, because those long fire drills where it stays in your zone for a long time, happens a lot in the second period, whether it
Yeah.
second period goes their way or doesn't.
And yet,
then in
second period was
overtime-
their best period in the regular season.
Right.
Yeah, but in the playoffs, it's a completely different game.
So here's the thing:
There are
if your
regular-
legs are burning,
Yeah,
it's not going to change whether you go fast or slow. on the
Yeah.
bench. So
Yeah.
skate fast.
So-
That's what coaches always told us. Hey, your legs are burning. That's great. You know where they're going to stop burning when you sit your ass down.
Yeah.
So get to the bench faster.
Because you say, okay, so what they have to do on Sunday to win this game, and I say they need to clean up the little things, they need to be tighter. Like those are the things I'm talking about, because this Leafs team is so good. Like they are a very good team. Look how they're hanging with the Stanley Cup champions. There aren't the egregious things where it's like you need to fix this on Sunday to win these games. No, it's all of those little mistakes that lead to playoff goals. Because when two good teams are going head to head, the game looks pretty even the whole game. And it's just one or two mistakes, one or two little puck battles, one or two little things you do wrong that affect the outcome of the game. And the Leafs in this game, I thought, you could fix a couple of them.
Panthers 1 goal off the rush, 1 off of Riley. 1 is football tackled into the net, and another goes off Riley.
Like the forecheck where the Panthers throw 2 guys to that weak side and they go get that puck. Win those battles.
Yeah.
Like that, we all know their strategy. They know your strategy. Fix it. Like it's inexcusable at this point.
And it works both ways. Like
Yeah.
Mitch scores sort of a fluky goal to win game 2. It begins with Domi and McMahon double team just ramming Gus Forsling into the end boards. You got to forecheck and make him make mistakes.
Yeah. So you're adding to the little things list. Domi took a bad penalty. You bring him up. He took a roughing penalty earlier.
Early in the game. Yeah, because he it was so funny, watching him.
I know he did.
And it was
I'm
like,
trying to
remember
remember
he hit and his hands were up, and
Yeah.
that's why. And it's
He
so
pulled
funny
a Bennett!
because later on in the game, Evan Rodriguez goes flying into the boards, skates off the ice into John Tavares' head. And it's totally fine.
There's
and
another
if you go back and you
example-
watch the replay, both skates are off the ice.
That, to me, there's not much between the Domi penalty and what Rodriguez did. And that's, to me, a great example of, you got more power plays, but what the hell is that?
Right. And that Domi one is against Verhaeghe when he roughed him. And Domi,
I mean, he shouldn't have done it.
Domi played the least amount of minutes out of anybody on the Leafs. He played 12 minutes in a game that goes deep into overtime.
He struggles on the road.
He deserved that based on his play last game. He was a -1, took a bad penalty, 12 minutes. Like,
so you
not a
can't-
great game. You can't have guys at the bottom 6 of your lineup taking those penalties.
Yes.
Like,
That is fair.
so many these, just play a little tighter in all these little different facets of the game. You're going to win because you can hang with Florida. We know they can.
And who was
Right
in the
there.
box when the Leafs got their power play goal? AJ Greer. Like, can't happen.
Yeah, like you
happen.
said, like all of these little lessons apply to both teams, and that's why the series is so tight, and that's why I can't be like, fix this. Matthews needs to score, Willie needs to score, whatever big issue they have. They don't have that.
I just hate winning team good, losing team bad.
Yeah.
Like, where if you take the emotion out of it, which is difficult, but like I'm used to it because I watch so much non-Leaf hockey at this time of year because they're usually out. This is a great series.
When you look at this series, it's not good team, bad team, whatever. It's 2 good teams.
It's a coach's nightmare of a series. Like, there's
like, what do you do?
so many breakdowns, so many goals. I just have a hard time believing the winning team is going to score 5 goals most nights for the rest of the series.
No.
It's probably going to tighten up.
It's 2 good teams playing really good hockey.
I've thoroughly enjoyed the entire series, and by enjoyed, I mean I've sat on the end of my couch, or I've sat in this room watching and going, "Oh my God, when will they get a face-off so I can breathe again?"